Join me as I take on the challenge of claiming God's favor in my life and see what happens when I put my faith to the test. God's favor is something that can totally transform our lives. It's the supernatural advantage that sets us apart, giving us an edge in our relationships, our careers, and our personal growth. When we walk in God's favor, we experience His blessings, His protection, and His guidance in every area of our lives. But have you ever wondered why some people seem to experience God's favor more than others? What sets them apart, and how can we tap into that same favor for ourselves? I think many of us have been there, feeling like we're stuck, like God's favor is somehow elusive, and we can't quite grasp it. Maybe we're struggling with doubt, wondering if we're good enough or if we've done enough to deserve God's favor. Maybe we're fearful, worried that we'll never experience the blessings we see others enjoying. Or maybe we're just feeling stuck, like our circumstances are somehow blocking us from receiving God's favor. Whatever the reason, it's easy to feel like we're just not worthy, like God's favor is only for a select few. We might look at our lives and think, God, I've been trying to do the right things, I've been praying, I've been reading my Bible, but I just don't feel like I'm getting anywhere. We might feel like we're doing everything we can, but somehow, God's favor just seems out of reach. It's a frustrating feeling, knowing that we're not living up to our full potential, and we're not experiencing the blessings that God has in store for us. But what if I told you that it's not about what we're doing or not doing? What if I told you that it's not about our worthiness or our circumstances? What if I told you that it's simply about aligning ourselves with God's plans and purposes for our lives? That's what I want to explore with you today, how to claim God's favor in our lives, and what that looks like on a practical level. Let's look at some examples from the Bible of people who claimed God's favor and saw incredible results. Take Joseph, for example, who went from being a slave to becoming second in command of Egypt. Or take David, who went from being a shepherd boy to becoming king of Israel. These individuals weren't special because of who they were or what they did, they were special because they aligned themselves with God's plans and purposes. They trusted in Him, they obeyed Him, and they sought Him with their whole hearts. And as a result, they experienced God's favor in incredible ways. One thing that stands out about these biblical examples is that they all had a deep sense of faith and trust in God. They didn't let their circumstances dictate their reality, they chose to believe that God was good, that He was sovereign, and that He had a plan for their lives. They didn't get caught up in fear or doubt, they chose to focus on God's goodness and faithfulness. And as a result, they experienced God's favor in ways that changed their lives forever. But here's the thing, claiming God's favor isn't just about what we believe, it's also about what we do. It's about being intentional about our relationship with God, about seeking Him in prayer and in His Word. It's about cultivating a heart of gratitude, recognizing that everything we have is a gift from God. When we combine faith with action, that's when we start to see God's favor manifest in our lives. We start to experience the blessings, the protection, and the guidance that we've been longing for. So what's the turning point for us? What's the key to claiming God's favor in our lives? For me, it's been about recognizing that God's favor isn't just about what I can get, it's about what I can give. It's about using my life to glorify Him, to serve others, and to make a difference in the world. When I focus on giving rather than getting, that's when I start to experience God's favor in a deeper way. I start to see the world around me through new eyes, and I start to experience the supernatural blessings that come with being aligned with God's plans and purposes. So let's recap what we've learned today. We've talked about the significance of God's favor in our lives, and how it can impact our relationships, our careers, and our personal growth. We've discussed common struggles people face in feeling disconnected from God's favor, and we've explored biblical examples of individuals who claimed God's favor and saw incredible results. We've also talked about the importance of faith, prayer, and gratitude in opening the doors to experiencing God's favor more fully in our lives. If you've been feeling disconnected from God's favor, I want to encourage you to take a step of faith today. Take a few minutes to reflect on your relationship with God, and ask yourself what's holding you back from experiencing His favor in a deeper way. Is it fear, doubt, or something else? Whatever it is, I want to encourage you to bring it to God, and to ask for His help and guidance in overcoming it. And if you're already experiencing God's favor in your life, I want to encourage you to share your story with us in the comments below. How has God's favor impacted your life, and what steps did you take to claim it? Thanks for watching, and don't forget to tune in next time for more inspirational content.